Morning, everyone. Welcome to the monthly webinars from Connect. We're going to start in a minute. All right. Morning again. Welcome to the monthly webinar from Connect. And today's topic is email marketing. So we'll basically be talking through a few items on or few topics around email marketing and with regards to giving specific examples for restaurant from a restaurant point of view. But the same thing can be applied to any particular industry as well. Again, if you have any questions, feel free to enter them in this chat, and then I'll try to answer them as much as possible. Or if not, we are always available at marketing@mconnect.com. Right. With that, we'll actually start our monthly webinar topic again, which is email marketing with regards to your restaurant from a restaurant's perspective. A little bit background about us. We are founded in 2015. We at mConnect, we follow what we call as an accountable customer engagement model with a focus on collecting customer data and using this data to come up with marketing strategies and other things. Few of our clients includes Dairy Queen, Polios, Unamas. And today, again, as I said before, we're going to actually talk about, again, at a very high level, what is email marketing, how to build the list, and what are the strategies in terms of both from building a list and how to actually use the emails that are actually collected to enhance your marketing reach and get more customer engagement and those kind of things. Right. Um, Before that, we would like to again focus on our A2A customer engagement model, because throughout this webinar, we are going to talk about the different stages of a customer engagement and how email actually can be used at each of these stages. Again, we've actually divided the customer engagement or customer journey into 5 phases, and we call this as an A to A: awareness, engagement, acquisition, loyalty, and advocacy. And at each stage of the customer engagement, whatever marketing strategies that you as a restaurant or a small business, you can actually adopt or come up with strategies that would actually help you or reach your goals with regards to the customer engagement, in the sense that, like, for example, let's take email marketing itself. You can actually use emails to create awareness. You can use that to create engagement. You can actually use to get customers to buy some stuff, and then to increase the customer loyalty, and at the same time to refer your business to others using emails as well. And that's at a very high level. We're going to talk about in this particular webinar about how emails can be used, across these 5 stages of the customer engagement, and giving specific examples with regards to our restaurant clients that we actually work with. Are you guys able to hear me? Can you guys hear me? How about now? Can you hear me now? Okay, I'm not sure as to what so far if anyone on the call were able to hear me, but quick wrap up. This is what we're gonna actually discuss today. More about the email marketing, how to build the base, and how actually one can actually use the emails to kind of increase your reach and all of the kind of things, right? With regards to this is our what we call as an A2A customer engagement model. Um, at at mConnect, we actually use this customer engagement model to come up with marketing strategies that would actually help us come up with, again, like when I say come up with marketing strategies that would actually help us at each stage of this customer engagement. So, for example, in this case, when we are talking about email marketing, email marketing can be actually used to create awareness, and it can be used to create or to engage the customers, and make them purchase your product, or come into your store with an offer and those kind of things. And at the same time, increase the customer loyalty using email marketing. And it also will help you as a business to get referrals for your business to other from your existing customers to their friends and family, which is the advocacy stage. So at mConnect, we use this A2A model to guide us every single step or every single marketing strategy that we come up with. And we ask this question: at any point of time, if you are executing a task, we want to understand as to whether this task would help us create awareness, or what stage of this A2A engagement model it will actually help us, right? So with that in mind, we're going to actually delve into specifics of what is email marketing. Again, since actually the wide world web, even before that itself, the internet actually has started as an email, this one, like where people were able to send one message to as a text message from one computer to another computer, and that's the beginning of email. And over ages, the email actually has grown tremendously in terms of, like, billions of emails are actually sent on on a single day, with most of them being the spam. So basically, at a very high level, what is email marketing? As in the definition of it is basically it's saying that it's the ability to reach your customers using email as a mode of communication. That's the bottom line, is email marketing is all about, right? And these are some of the statistics in terms of, like, why email marketing is important, right? There are multiple statistics out there in terms of saying that every dollar you spend, you get X amount of dollars. But end of the day, your emails are again, obviously, as I said, there are billions of emails which are actually going out. So that means you as a marketing personal or professional, you need to make sure that your emails stand out, right? And it's ubiquitous in the sense that, like, everyone actually has an email. As a matter of fact, multiple emails, and the ability to basically contact the customers using emails is easy. And once you kind of do personalization, then the transaction rate and and the ability to for customers to open and all those kind of things increases tremendously. So from a business point of view, the main reasons for you to use emails are obviously all customers actually use them. It's easy for you to collect them. When I say easy, people don't have, they are more willing to give their email ID. And also it is easy with the technology trends and all those kind of things to kind of mine data and use it for multiple purposes, which we're going to actually talk about in the future slides, right? So now that we have actually made the business case, again, we don't want to get into the why email marketing is required, because that topic has been dealt at length at multiple forums, and what we want to focus is mostly on the actual implementation part, and that's what we're going to actually do in the for the next 45 minutes. So here again, the question here is, like as we said, almost all the customers actually, as a matter of fact, they have multiple emails. So how you as a business can create your list? What are the options for you to create a list? And before we get into the specifics of creating the list and using them and all those kind of things, you as a business, you need to make sure that you have a set strategy, in the sense that when you collect an email, right, the customer is expecting some kind of a response. So that means you need to actually have a strategy in terms of why are you collecting that email, what are you going to do with that email within the first 24 hours, right? After that, how are you going to keep the customer engaged, right? And then how are you making sure that it's not just the engagement part, but also how are you making sure that the metrics that you want to focus on for your emails, how are you making sure those metrics are met and they increase on an ongoing basis? So the bottom line is, you as a business, you need to actually have a strategy. The strategy is basically around why and how you can actually improve and all those kind of things, right? So now the question is, once you have that strategy, then start looking at building the list. There are multiple ways in which you can actually build your email base, right? So again, we go back to our MConnects A2A model, wherein we are talking as a customer. The customer is actually engaging with you as a brand um, in 5 stages. So it is basically at the awareness stage. And that's the first stage, wherein they do not know you as a brand. Then once they know you as a brand, then they start engaging with you. And if they like the conversations, they become a customer. And if the experience is good, they become a loyal customer. And if they're extremely happy and they are delighted, then they'll start referring your business to others. So those are the 5 stages. So at each stage, the customer has a chance to interact with you. That means you as a business has an opportunity to gather customer data. And here we are talking specifically email IDs. So for example, let's say that you are trying to run a campaign here. Like for example, here, the very first one we have, these are again multiple ways in which you can build your list. So you want to run like summers. This is like June, and you want to run a summer special for kids, maybe Kids Eat Free, within your 1 mile radius or 2 mile radius, right? So you basically start a campaign on Facebook, on Google, or some other form or fashion, or you even you can actually have a poster within your store saying that, hey, sign up on myrestaurant.com to get a free kids meal that can be used every single day, or something like that, right? Obviously, you want to make sure that when you're giving something, you want something in return from the customer. It's like a to and fro relationship kind of, or a symbiotic relationship kind of a thing. So here you're basically asking the customer to opt in for some kind of a special. Here in this case, maybe it could be a kids meal free or 10% off or a free juice or something like that. That's one way of doing things. Then obviously Wi-Fi right now, it is again, most of the stores actually offer this as free, but you can actually use as a tool saying that, hey, submit your email ID and we're gonna actually, obviously you need to state saying that why you're gonna actually collect the email, what you're gonna do with that, and and you can actually use that email IDs to kind of communicate with them. Again, the free Wi-Fi stuff. Then there are other things. Again, if you look at like when you're engaging with the customer or when you're actually having an online ordering platform, all these are some of the options for you to collect the email ID. Again, make sure that when you are engaging with the customer, think of this as you are having a one-on-one conversation. For example, let's take the online ordering itself, right? When someone is actually placing an order, then you have the option saying that, hey, create an account for you, and we'll basically enroll into our specials program, right? And that's what you can actually do. That's one way of looking at things, right? Then the other way is like when someone is actually checking out at the counter, you can obviously ask, hey, do you want to sign up and get 5% off, or do you want to sign up for a loyalty program or some or the other form where you can actually have the email ID basically generated at that point of time as well. It's just not that, but you can also have some kind of co-marketing activities with partners in the neighborhood area. For example, for one of our pizza clients, we've actually partnered with the city officials, and what we are actually doing is we are creating a cup, like 200 cups, which we are actually printing with the logo. And on this logo, we are actually telling that customer saying that, hey, um, if you actually have the logo, as in the logo on this, as in like if you have this cup with the logo of our brand, you're going to actually get a free drink for life. And we are actually asking for obviously some customer data as part of this one, so that we can actually get we are actually working with the city officials on this one, so that we are giving away this cup for free, but at the same time we are generating some kind of buzz around it, right? Something on those lines you can actually create, in the sense that you can, even though we are giving away the cup for free, you can also have some kind of a link saying that, hey, register for here and get this free cup for unlimited drinks and all those kind of things, right? You can also have hosting a contest, or if you have any guest management systems, or again, obviously, you can actually have a bowl in the store saying that drop your visiting cards. And again, the way to build your list, there are multiple options. Again, these are some of the ones which you have actually listed here, and there could be n number which we might not even are aware of, and those kind of things, right? So given these things, I want to make sure that it's not just creating the list. Again, the focus has to be that why are you as a business creating this list? What will you actually use this list for? And when you actually have the answer for why, then the question becomes is, when you start using these emails for that particular purpose, are you seeing the returns based on those assumptions you've made? And then if not, how can you tweak them, right? Like, for example, if you want to create your email list hosting a contest, again, we have done that multiple times, like a photo contest or a selfie contest, wherein we've actually asked customers to submit their email ID or other forms of customer data. And then once we get this data, then obviously you have to announce the results of the contest, maybe give them like some kind of a coupon. For example, we are actually having a customer of ours recently started their restaurant, and we actually are having a raffle contest, and we're asking customers to submit their email ID, but we're also telling them for every email ID that's been submitted, we're going to actually give them a free item from the store. So here we are actually getting the email IDs, and the second thing is also we are giving a free item with that, because it's a new store. We want people to come into the door to taste the food, and that's where the whole point of hosting the contest. And the point is that we want customers to walk into the door. That's our final goal of getting the email IDs. And obviously, once we get the email IDs, we're going to add them to the whole customer database, wherein we send them emails on a regular basis, and so on and so forth. Right. So now, once we actually have built the emails, what next, right? Here now, these are again, once you actually have the emails, are you gonna actually for what purpose are you gonna actually use them for? Right? So these are the different things that you need to have in mind before you can start like sending out emails and all those kind of things, right? The very first thing is you need to make sure that when you are sending, there has to be a very clear demarcation or very clear notification saying that, hey, you have subscribed to our emails, and that is why you are getting this email from us as a business. And by the way, you can unsubscribe to the email. So make sure, the bottom line is that make sure that the customer should be able to subscribe to your emails, or they should be able to like subscribe, or they should be able to submit their emails as easily as possible, just with a one click. But at the same time, make sure that they should also be able to unsubscribe them as easily as possible. It's not that they have to basically go to a website, do that, do this, that kind of a thing. It's not the case. They basically should be able to unsubscribe. And that's my pet peeve. Most of the businesses feel that once they have the email ID, they should not let the customers go away easily. So that's a very, very wrong philosophy. I as a I as a consumer or a customer, I get very, very irritated when customers ask me, or when businesses ask me to kind of go to this link, click on this, click on that, and make me go through 3 4 steps. But at the same time, we need to make sure when they're unsubscribing, you need to have a very clear understanding as to why they're unsubscribing. Are they getting too many emails? Is it not they're not liking the content, and all those kind of things, so that you can actually see a trend, right? So these are all the different things that you would actually that you need to follow once you actually have built the email base. And we're going to actually talk in these slides again, as I said, the CanSpam Act. These, again, you would get into legal soup if you do not follow these rules, in the sense that you need to have a clear understanding. It's not that you can actually buy the list from third party and then dump them, right? In the sense, even when there are a lot of companies which sell email, but you need to be very, very clear that these companies are legit. These are not which are getting the data from third party or something else. And these are legitimate customers who have actually subscribed to their email list, and those email lists have a clear wording saying that they can actually share the information or sell the information to others, right? So again, this is a very, very important guidelines for you as a business. And as a matter of fact, almost all the tools out there, they actually have this provision in terms of the CanSpam Act, in the sense that where you actually have to provide your a legal notification as to how they're actually subscribed to that email, your contact information and everything like that, and what email ID it is coming from, and all those things, so that the end customer would know that this email is coming from X, Y, and Z business. It's not like some goofy email which they do not have an idea, and all of a sudden they're thinking, how the heck am I getting these emails, right? Again, just go back to the initial beginnings. There are billions of emails which are being sent out, and I would say around like 80% or 90% might be spam, right? So the question here is, do you want to end up in that? Again, because the customers, they give out emails so quickly, at the same time they feel that the emails which are they're gonna get, they are junk as well. So there has to be some balance between how you use these emails, and this is the first instance of making sure that the CanSpam Act, you adhere to those rules. Now, the second thing is, make sure that you are segmenting your emails, in the sense that it's not that you're just sending for, it's not the quantity of emails you're sending out, it's the quality that counts. So that means make sure that, for example, when you're sending out emails, send it out to the list. Maybe if you're sending out, like, for example, kids eat free. And if you have data which shows that some people have already purchased kids meal, that means they're more likely to purchase the kids meals next, right? If you have data which shows that there are only couples, or they're just buying one pizza, one drink, that means they are singles and they do not have kids. So it does not make sense for you to kind of send an email to them. Again, coupled with other tools that are there, you would basically be able to get data that will enable you to segment your customers, and based on that you can actually send out these emails. And again, this the stat on the right hand side of the graph, which basically says why as a business you need to basically make sure that you use segmentation and just not send out any emails without just for the heck of sending an emails, right? Again, these are some of the characteristics that you can actually use in terms of, like, for example, if you have a local sale or something like that, obviously you want to send out emails to those who within your area. There's no, if you actually have an email database targeting other city or something like that, for you as a small business or a restaurant, it does not make sense. Again, we talked about demographics as well, in the sense that if you know that they have a family or income levels and all those kind of things, right? That's another way of things, right? Then the other things is psychographics, in terms of, like, again, for example, if you have like, if you're partnered with for example, a local charity or a non-profit, and you know that this particular person cares about that non-profit, or you have a certain set of demographics or psychographics information saying that someone who actually cares about the environment and recycles and all those kind of things, then an email saying that you're doing a fundraiser with National Geographic or some other or WWF, would that person would basically be opening that email than sending out to any one person who might not even care about that particular cause, or they are more interested in other causes, right? And then obviously the most important aspect is, like, hey, again, the behavioral aspect of things, right? In the sense that I always have this issue of, if I'm actually purchasing one, let's assume on a Friday morning or a Friday night, I actually go to a restaurant. So you are better off sending an email on a Friday morning or a Thursday evening or a Thursday morning, so that the email is actually fresh in my mind, saying that there is an offer on a Friday morning for a particular item which I've actually purchased. So that means I'm more likely to open that particular email, right? So these are actually, again, if you go back to this one, we need to make sure that these are some of the other things in terms of if there are any other things, like, are they members of loyalty memberships? For example, we send out at mconnect, we actually send out an email for frequent customers on a weekly basis, and we do, and other notifications based on the offers and all those kind of things. So this is basically the loyalty members. They feel that they are being uh, cared for, or they are actually valued with these offers which are not available for anyone else, right? So we talked about the first aspect is basically the CanSpam Act. Then we talked about the segmentation. Then once you have this one, you need to do kind of some kind of A/B testing, in the sense that, again, all these for you as a small business owner might look very Greek and Latin, but there are tools which will actually help you to understand that these are very simple steps, in the sense that, like, okay, if you're sending out, the A/B testing is nothing but you're sending one set of content or one set of design to one set of customers. And again, these are not all customers. You can actually take a few set of customers and send them and see how many are actually opening the emails, how many are actually clicking them, how many are actually acting on them, and all those kind of things. And based on that, you would say that, okay, your the second design or second content seems to be working more, and that's when you actually send out that email out, right? um, and then the other thing is, you need to, again, in the initial beginning itself, we talked about when anyone submits their email ID, you need to actually have a strategy in terms of why you are collecting that email ID. It's not that, like, you have someone collects an email ID, a manual person is actually, or a person is actually going through that email ID and then responding to that email ID. That's not the intent, right? Again, when someone is submitting that email ID, again, there are other cases from a customer support point of view, which we will come to at a later stage. But here, someone is subscribing to your specials, or someone is subscribing to your birthday club or something like that. So you need to make sure that those email IDs are collected, and you basically send them an email for within that, like, if someone submits a special, then you, for specials, you make sure that you send a special immediately within 24 hours, because there's a good chance of that customer acting on that specials email. Or if it's a cart abandonment, you basically ask them as to why they abandon the cart. You can be a feedback email, or you can actually go back and say that, hey, for example, Amazon is great on this one, so it will actually send you an email saying that you have this particular item still left, do you want to actually order them, and those kind of things, right? So you need to make sure that those strategies are adopted, so that people, again, this is like one way of communication to them, right? Where people are reminded about a task that they have actually left in between, or they have actually worked on, so that they can actually, in the sense, again, they can actually finish that particular task when it comes to cart abandonment, or they act on that special the email subscription list, and all those kind of things. This goes without saying that you need to make sure that the design is mobile optimized. I would say that, again, maybe almost most of the emails in today's world are being opened on mobile. So your email should be optimized, your pictures have to be optimized, your content has to be optimized, and it actually has to have what we call as a call to action, right? In the sense that it's not just the optimization part, but also optimization from a call to action part. Again, we talked about when anyone subscribes to a special. So when you're sending an email back to them saying that, hey, thank you, customer, for subscribing to our emails, and here is your 10% off, and make sure that you act on this one within the next 24 hours, or else you will not get this 10% off, right? So you need to make sure that you are actually having a very clear call to action, and this call to action has to be one click through, in the sense that you don't want them to scroll through the entire email. It should be at the very top. It should basically be easy for people to understand that they have to click this button to get that particular 10% off, or they actually, you should not actually ask them to go through hoops. And then making sure that, like, when you send this email, you need to make sure that you are actually following through, in the sense that, okay, first is how many people are actually opening the emails, how many people are actually clicking this click to or call to action. Once they land on that particular dedicated web landing page, you need to make sure how many people are actually converting in terms of, like, again, as I said, if you're asking for a customer to say 10% off, are they actually really using that coupon, and are they really coming from this particular email campaign itself? You can get a range of statistics in terms of what kind of customers are looking for this 10% 10% off. Is it the millennials, or the baby boomers, or is the younger generation, and those kind of things? Gen Y, Gen Z, you can have any kind of like, you can actually get some kind of analytics and kind of things in terms of customer behavior based on these the call to actions that you're actually working on. Now, the other thing is making sure that you are integrating your social media. Obviously, everyone is talking about the social media aspect of things, in the sense that when anyone gets an email, you should have the ability for people to not just go to that landing page, but also have other forms of communication, in the sense that go to the Facebook page, or follow us on Twitter, or like our Instagram handle, and all those kind of things, right? So make sure that, again, this is useful for the end customers as well, to understand that, okay, this particular business has not just presence on this one, but also have information on social media and all those kind of things, right? The other aspect which we were talking about initially was the unsubscription part, but also you should basically be able to have the option of customers getting feedback from customers on a regular basis, and trying to get idea as to whether the frequency of the emails that are being sent out, are they liking it? Is the content that they actually are sending out, is it good enough, in the sense that, hey, if you are actually sending out offers, are people opening those offers, are people walking into those offers? And you as a business, you should not be afraid to ask questions. And that's, again, that's a common misconception, is that if you don't ask, everything is hunky-dory. It's not the case. If you ask, and if you get a feedback, then you have the ability to make changes, and it it shows to the end customer that you as a business actually care about their preferences, you care about what they are looking for, and they are willing to give feedback. Just ask. That's the biggest challenge. Again, I think it's common across, maybe, I'm not sure how many people actually ask. The question is the feedback you need to actually ask. The more, it's maybe, I'm not saying that you should actually annoy the customers on a daily basis asking for feedback, but make sure that you do have some kind of a feedback strategy into your whole marketing strategy, in terms of asking, okay, what is that the customers are looking for? Are you as a business providing that kind of information, that kind of tools, and all those kind of things? Again, if you're a restaurant, we always tell our customers to train their staff to ask for feedback, in the sense that we need to make sure that, okay, how can you as a business can change or update, or those kind of things, right? In the sense that, how can you make sure that you are getting feedback on the way you are running your business, and all those kind of things, right? How is the food, how is the customer service, and so on and so forth, right? um, and then you need to make sure that you are the emails are clean on a regular basis. If you are actually seeing, obviously, as I said, you should enable customers to unsubscribe from the list, but at the same time, if you can actually segment the customers, saying that who are not opening, who are opening on a regular basis, who are clicking on the links, who are forwarding your emails, and all those kind of things. So target those kind of customers and say, what can you do in order for customers to open your list more. So that means you need to make sure that, okay, which days or which times would actually work the most. Most of the people actually say that, again, this is a common philosophy, that do not send emails during weekends because people don't check it. Again, it depends on industry to industry. You need to make sure that you are comparing yourselves against the best practices within that industry. At mConnect, we actually use MailChimp as our tool, and MailChimp provides a lot of statistics, because obviously they have the statistics in terms of different industries. We compare our national averages or our averages against other restaurant clients, the open rate, the click-through rate, and all those kind of things. That would actually enable us to benchmark, saying that, hey, are we doing better than the industry? Are we doing below the industry standards? And how can we increase that? As in, obviously, the industry standards is one benchmark. That means you as a business, you need to make sure that you are trying to surpass those benchmarks, making sure that the open rates, the click-through rates, the landing pages, analytics, and all those kind of things are better than the averages, right? So with that in mind, we've actually talked about, like, okay, you need to make sure that you have a clear strategy in terms of the emails which are being sent out, when they have to be sent out, the personalization, and all those kind of things. And then we also talked about some of the designs here, right? In this, we're going to actually show a little bit of a few restaurant emails that we have actually come up. These are very clear in terms of why we chose these ones, right? Again, these are where, if you look at it, it actually talks about, okay, the images are very, very important, in the sense that when someone opens it, the very first thing that actually pops up is, they have actually two types of pizzas, one chicken wings and one kind of a breadsticks here. And it actually is very appealing, in the sense you need to make sure that it is there. And you need to also have like a very highlighted at the very top, saying that who is it coming from, the logo and all those kind of things. And the CTA here is very clear, saying that, okay, order now here, right? Here we are talking about, basically a dinner box, and there is an order now button. Now, if obviously within the first 1-2 seconds, I got the gist of this particular email, right? So if you look at the Chipotle emails, right, it's an automated email which actually comes up, and it says that, hey, this is the free offer and all those kind of things, but also at the same time you have other things that you can actually take care of, right? Here again, if you look at it, this is another, basically it says a meatball day, and this is, again, the picture is, it's a free order of meatballs. In case of Starbucks, if you look at it, they have some kind of saying that how you can actually use the app in here. You click here, you come to this, you click on it, and this is the reward you're going to get. So it is kind of a journey which they have actually shared within that email, saying that you as a customer, what do you need to do in order to get to this? These are the 3-4 steps that you need to actually follow through. Again, some more emails which actually shows the focus is on the pictures. Again, we are talking with respect to the restaurants, right? So when you actually have, make sure that the pictures which are included, they actually have very appealing, in the sense once they open it, it shows that, hey, this is a Clubhouse email and you're giving a free classic burger, right? And then here it talks about McAllister's. Just look at how the sandwiches and all those kind of things. All right. So we talked about so far in terms of the why you need email marketing. Then we talked about the different strategies that you as a business you can actually adopt. And then once you actually have the email list, what do you need to do on an ongoing basis, so that you know for a fact that this email list that you've collected is put to good use. And then obviously these are the metrics in terms of the click-through rates, open rates, and all those kind of things, the design aspects, right? There are, again, as we talked about, multiple software tools out there which will actually enable you to collect emails and send out emails and all those kinds of things. So given the fact that we are asking you to send emails on a regular basis, and there's no point of using your Outlook or something like that, because obviously, given the fact that there are a lot of spam emails which are going out, the ISPs will, if they see that there are a bunch of emails coming out, thousands of emails coming out from a particular server, they would actually blacklist you. So we strongly suggest to use some of the available softwares that are there for you to not just enable you to send out the emails, but the analytics which comes with those with these softwares, that's the most critical aspect of the email marketing, right? In the sense, you want to know which emails have been opened, who are the people who have been unsubscribing, right? And then having good designs and comparing them with the benchmarks and all those kind of things. And these are the different software tools which are out there. And again, at mconnect, we primarily use MailChimp for multiple reasons, obviously, given the fact that they actually have a free for life up to 2,000 emails, which is a great option for most small businesses, and the ability to send 12,000 emails. Apart from that, they have great other tools in terms of having to do with the benchmarks, having to do with the great designs. And off late, they're also getting into more marketing automation in terms of other aspects of things, right? Um, Now, the question here is, again, these are some of the characteristics that you should be looking for when you're deciding on a software. Obviously, cost is one thing which you need to look for. Apart from that, once you actually have the cost, you need to see that, hey, do you need to be there when sending an email? Can you just automate the process? Would you be able to integrate this with other your website, with the social media, with other tools that you're actually using? How easy is it for you to build a template? How easy is it for you to do a drag and drop, right? And what kind of analytics does it support? And are these actionable analytics and all those kind of things? These are, again, some of the key characteristics that you need to look at from a software point of view, and then decide on, okay, saying that, okay, this is basically the best, this one I need, right? Again, these are, again, some of again, we will basically be having multiple 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 email software on multiple, as in, what I meant to say is, the service providers that we actually have. Again, we actually use MailChimp. Now, so from a restaurant point of view, right? We've talked about how you can actually build the database, and what kind of strategies you need to include. And now, with regards to the A2A model itself, where we are talking about in terms of how we can actually use some of the emails that actually you can use, right? Again, these are some of the ways in which we've been using the emails in terms of promoting any specials they have. Like, for example, Mondays are kids eat free days and all those kind of things, right? So you can actually announce any new food items if you have, saying that, hey, these are new food items that we are launching. If you want to get a taste for it, come down and get a taste for it, and those kind of things, right? That's another thing. And then you can also do, as I said, like any special days, Monday off, or Monday kids eat free, and those kind of things. You can also do fundraisers. Again, we talked about co-marketing. where we are saying that, okay, if you are doing a fundraiser with a local school, then the best thing is like work with the local schools and come up with an email and say you send it to your set of clients, and also ask them to send it to their parents and teachers and friends and family kind of thing. And obviously you also are providing some kind of information, the awareness part, right? Are you open for the Labor Day? Do you actually have any special ways for people to contact you? Are there any delivery charges and all those kind of things? Do you actually have any change your timings for the summer and all those kind of things? Again, these are some of the things that you actually have, and you can provide contact information like the social media links that we actually talked about, right? Uh, n number of times we, again, from an A to A point of view, if you want to increase the loyalty programs, you can actually tell them, hey, sign up for this loyalty program and you would actually get like a free something or something on those lines. So we have actually seen when we have done a loyalty program campaign for one of our pizza clients, the number of people who actually signed up have increased. And obviously the whole point here is, when you are promoting your loyalty program, you need to make sure that you are showcasing the value of that. End of the day, you as a marketing person or a business owner have to put yourself in the customer shoes and say, hey, what is that the customer is looking for? Will they actually open the email? When they open the email, will they click on that? When they click on it, will they act on it? Right? So that's what you need to actually look into this one, right? Make sure that you actually personalize your offers. And obviously, we've been talking about the personalizations and all those kind of things. And at NConnect also, we are working towards that goal where we can actually integrate their online ordering with the point of sale data and their social media preferences, and say that, okay, you actually clicked on, for example, on you purchased, like, let's assume this way, you clicked on a link for an offer for 5 off of 25, and you purchased maybe a burger, a classic burger, and with chips and all those kind of things. So next time when I send you an offer, and again you gave a 5-star rating on that particular review, now the question here is like, can I actually send them an email to them giving special discount on that particular classic burger, right? So that's what it will actually help you, and obviously collect feedback, right? So again, we have a tool at NConnect. We call that as critique. So we use that tool to send out emails to our clients, at the same time get feedback for those people who actually walk into the door as well. And this critique tool will actually help us to get feedback. And again, the emails that we actually send out is for online orders. So we ask them how their how their feedback or how their experience has been, and if they are part of frequent customers, we also send an email to them saying that, okay, how your response has been in those kind of things, right? And obviously the birthday module that we actually have also is also, we have two things, right? One is when they subscribe to a birthday module, we actually send them an email saying that welcome to the club, and here is your gift for you. And then the next one is like basically on their birthday, we actually say happy birthday to you, and here is your special something for you kind of a thing, right? But the whole point here is we need to make sure that there is value to the customer. So in the sense that, can you provide some kind of behind the scenes or an interview with the clients or a recipe, or invite them over or something like that, so that the customer feels that whatever information you are providing, you put thought into that and thinking of the customer when sending out that email, right? One of the most important aspects is, we can actually use the email IDs to kind of create custom data for you to run campaigns. I think last week or in the last webinar we talked about the remarketing, right? And having customer email IDs would actually help you create your Facebook custom audience, or to create your Google marketing targets, so that it would actually help you effectively increase your chances in terms of I mean to say, in terms of increasing your chances of someone seeing your campaigns, acting on it, and trying to do that right. So the bottom line is, you as a customer, or I mean to say, as a business person or as a marketing person, you need to make sure that you see a value in collecting the customer email IDs. So that means you need to have a clear strategy as to why you are collecting the email ID. Once you have a clear strategy as to why you need the email IDs, then you go about starting, or you go about coming up with ways and means of collecting this email IDs, in terms of pop-ups, in terms of social media contests, and all those kind of things. And once you have these email IDs, you will start looking at what are the things that you need to do in order for you to make sure that the sanity, or the fidelity of this customer database that you're collecting is fine-tuned, in the sense that make sure that you are updating it regularly, you are having good designs, you are personalizing it, and all those kind of things. And once you do this one, obviously comparing it with your industry standards, and then once you do this one, you want to actually check out in terms of like how frequently you want to send out emails, what kind of content do you want to send out, do you want to vary your messaging, month one would be something, month two would be something, and make it as contextual as possible. Again, the bottom line is the customers, as we talked about, it's very, when compared with any other kind of data, people are willing to give out email IDs. So we need to make sure when they're giving out some information, you are valuing that information, that you are treating it as a treasure, and making sure that you are acting on it on a regular basis, getting feedback, and so on and so forth. So this concludes our the monthly webinar. Again, this is regarding the email marketing. And if you have any questions, anything like that, feel free to contact us at marketing@mconnect.com. Or if you want any information about mconnect or the products that we have, feel free to reach out at 619 connect, or also email us, and we'll be more than happy to sit with you, understand your requirements, or tell more about us as to how we can actually help you out. Right. So this actually concludes this month's webinar, and next month we will be actually talking about the third-party delivery systems. Obviously, as any for at mConnect, what we want to do is we want to choose some topics which are very relevant, which are hot, as in like people are looking for answers about them. And so for the next month, we're going to actually talk about the third-party deliveries like Uber Eats, DoorDash, Postmates, Amazon, and kind of understand as to how these work, and how you as a small business owner, again, the emphasis is on restaurants, how you can actually use them for multiple purposes, right? If there are any questions, again, feel free to send us an email at marketing@mconnect.com, or else you can also reach us. If there are no questions, would like to, I think we are almost done with the webinar here. If you have any other questions, feel, again, as I said, reach out to this email with any suggestions or any topics that you would like us to cover, and we'll be more than happy to actually look into that and act on that. All right. Once again, thanks everyone for joining this monthly webinar, and we look forward to seeing you next month as well. Have a great day.